We're good. Let's see. Fun Farm Fridays in full effect. Okay. I think we're on. Let me make sure that we are live, because we're about to have an awesome Fun Farm Fridays. Woohoo! Hope you're excited. Make sure you get your pens, your papers, everything that you need to take notes. Let's go. Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Uchenna Kole-James, pharmacist and founder of Fun on the Farm. Welcome to Fun Farm Fridays. Woohoo, it's Friday. Did you have a long week this week? I did. That's why I decided to do these episodes on Friday. And what Fun Farm Fridays is all about is how do we demystify or make more clear the whole prescription filling process, some of your health conditions, frequently asked questions, all of the above. So a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Uchenna Kole-James, pharmacist and founder of Fun on the Farm. I've worked in a retail pharmacy for over 10 years, filling 100 to 1,000 prescriptions every single day, depending on what pharmacy I worked at. So I have accumulated lots and lots of questions, lots and lots of tidbits, lots and lots of worksheets that I like to compile in my drawer, and I keep it all there. And I created this Fun Farm Friday so I can share with you a lot of the information that I think would help to keep you safer. So today we're talking about medication abbreviations and conversions and a lot of the questions that you may have and may not know to ask. So that's what I'm sharing with you today. So hello, and thank you everyone for joining me this wonderful evening on this beautiful cold ass Friday. I am here in Detroit City. I got my Wirecast software going on with these freaky deaky backgrounds. And if you hate my background, you suck. But let me know, leave a comment down below and tell me how you feel. Cause I know this is kind of like much for a lot of people, but I love it. But if it's too much, let me know. I don't want anybody to have like a seizure or anything from looking at too many lights, too much going on. And I'm gonna change them every week. So if you have any kind of opinions or some input on what you want to see, let me know. I got an arsenal full on my laptop. So I am using a DSLR camera right now. I got one for my birthday. Thank you, hubby. It's a 77D Canon and I love it. And I haven't really used it that much because it's so complicated. I was like, I just want to do videos and pictures, but it could do a lot more than that. And one of the things I've been trying to figure out is how do I get all of those displays off of the screen? So if you see those, I apologize. If anybody knows how to get that off, shoot me a comment on my Facebook page, Fun on the Farm, or my YouTube channel, Dr. Uchenna Kole-James. That will help. And I've been watching YouTube channels, watching YouTube videos on trying to figure out, but nobody has put that out. So you can create a YouTube video or tell me, I'll create a YouTube video because I know someone in my situation might have the same problem. So today it's all about medication abbreviations and questions that you may have and how to decrease medication errors in the whole prescription process. And what I did is I created a worksheet, a PDF that you can click on the link down below this video and download so you can follow along with what I'm talking about. Have you ever gotten a prescription from your doctor and you looked at it and it looked like straight hieroglyphics? You're like, what does this say? It said something like this. And let me show you what I'm talking about. It looked like this. 1T-BID-HS. Do you see that? So, does anybody know what that means? And I'm using this software called Wirecast, which allows me to put all these lower thirds and these texts and these images, and I love it so much. But I've been having problems with it. And there's been a guy named Robert at Wirecast who's been so helpful. So shout out to Robert at Wirecast for helping me through this process. Appreciate you so much. Because it's like, why do I have to spend so much money and figure out everything by myself? And he was the first person to really help me through this process. So thank you, Robert. Mwah. So 1T, BID, and HS. What does this mean? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It's Friday! Woohoo! So that was my little Jeopardy ding. Okay, so 1T, BID, and HS. And that's why I created the worksheet. That means take one tablet twice a day and at bedtime. Did anybody know what that meant? I did because I'm a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for 10 years. And that's a lot of the questions that we're going to be, going through on these Fun Farm Fridays. That type of stuff is on the worksheet, all these abbreviations. I came up with about 50 of them. So make sure you click on the link below this video, name and email, and you can download the worksheet right away. And that'll really help you demystify this whole prescription filling process. So let's start. What is the prescription filling process, and why did I decide to talk about that today? The reason why is because so many people are so nonchalant and just so unassuming about the prescriptions that they get filled. And I understand it is my responsibility as a pharmacist to make sure that your prescriptions are safe, accurate, and properly given to you. They were prescribed to you from your physician, and it's my responsibility that you don't have any interactions, no allergies towards the medication that you're prescribed. But guess what? I'm a superhero. Yes, I am. That's why people call me the patient empowerer. I am a superhero, but I am not a magician. I don't know if the prescription that your doctor wrote for you is a prescription that you're supposed to be taking. It's my responsibility to turn that paper into pills or inhalers or liquids or anything else that the prescription has given me the direction to fill. But I'm not a magician. I am a superhero. That's me, my RX Power Hour. Check out my website if you want to know more information about that. So, the reason why I'm saying that is because some of the responsibility of the prescription filling process is on you, the patients. You have to be an informed patient before you even step into my pharmacy. And that's why I call, my mission. My mission statement is, my mission is to empower you to take charge of your health through both lifestyle changes and medication management. And I coined the phrase patient empowerment, is that the best patient is an informed and educated patient. And that's what I'm doing here today, to inform you, educate you on the prescription process and how to decrease the medication errors in the future, because medication errors happen every single day. 1 million people die from medication errors almost every single year. Every day someone dies from a medication error. And we have millions of medication errors happening every single day. Some of them are, not so severe, and some of them are quite fatal. And so it's very important to be empowered at the beginning of this whole RX process. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. The RX process, starting from the beginning to the end. So the RX prescription filling process begins when your physician, your nurse practitioner, your urgent care, whoever hands you that prescription, that's when it begins. If their physician or your doctor's office faxes us, or the pharmacy, your prescription, or you can e-prescribe, which is the electronic prescription, where the prescription actually goes from the physician or the nurse practitioner, whoever's the prescriber's computer system, directly to the pharmacy's computer system. That's called an e-prescription. So it's e-prescribe, it's electronically sent to us. And each mode of sending us a prescription has different rules. And as health professionals, we have to follow these rules. We are, there's a body of government that is, over us, making sure that we follow these rules and regulations. And so that's why this whole process is so important. And so that's why I really want you guys to understand the process from the beginning to the end. So when you get your prescription, either the doctor hands it to you or they e-prescribe it to us. That's the beginning of the prescription process. So let's say that the doctor hands you your prescription. It's very important before you leave the doctor's office that the prescription that you were given is exactly what you were supposed to be given. For an example, Sunday, as many women know, that might be your birth control day. That's the day that a lot of women, they start their birth control for the month, right? Because it's easy to track it if you're taking it every single day from Sunday, 3 weeks on, 1 week off, if you're taking the 28-day pack, for an example. If you come up to my pharmacy with a prescription, and this is the beginning of the month, you're supposed to start it today, and your prescription is supposed to be for your birth control tablet, but it's for like a Zyrtec. There's really nothing that I can do on Sunday to get your prescription right. And the reason why I'm using this as an example, because as empowered patients, we want to make sure that you get your prescription right before you leave your doctor's office. So we go to Home Depot, we're taking pictures of prices and UPC labels, and we're going to Best Buy, we're price comparing. We're doing all this work to make sure that our washer is the best price, or to make sure this Canon 77D is the best price. But when we get the prescription from the doctor's office, we don't even look at it. And that's why I'm here with you today. When you get your prescription from the doctor's office, the first thing you should do is look at it. Is this the prescription that the doctor and I talked about? Is this the prescription that the doctor told me he was going to prescribe for my condition? You don't know how many times that people come into my pharmacy and they're just like, I don't know why the doctor prescribed me that. Or, I have no idea what that's for. Oh, my doctor was supposed to give me my birth control pills. I told him that my nose was running, but I didn't need a prescription for that. I needed a prescription for my birth control pills. Well, why didn't you get a prescription for your birth control pills? You're supposed to get that before you even leave the office. You know how hard it is to call the doctor, especially on Sundays. Half the time they're so inundated with calls, I can't even get through with them. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get through to them to get the prescription corrected for you. Before you leave your doctor's office, make sure the name on the prescription is exactly what it was intended to be. That's the responsibility is on you and your prescriber. But you got to ask those questions. And I like to use everyone who's watching, you make sure you put your name and your email in the link below, so you can become a friend on the farm. All of my friends are subscribed to my membership site. My membership site is www.friendonthefarm.com. My website is Fun on the Farm. Let me mute that out so you can see it. Okay, so now we're back. So, my friends on the farm, it is your responsibility to make sure that the prescriptions that you leave the doctor's office is the prescription that you were intended to get. Take a picture. You don't need to make a photocopy anymore. You got a smartphone. Take a picture of the prescription just in case you need to refer back to it later on. We take a picture of everything else. why not take a picture of our prescription? All you gotta do is delete it. So that is my first takeaway for you. Before you leave your doctor's office, look at your prescriptions if they're giving you a paper copy, and make sure it's the prescription that you were intended to take today. First takeaway. Okay, so haven't you ever gotten a prescription from your doctor's office and you go into the pharmacy, come see me, and you drop it off, I fill it for you, you pick it up, and the name on the label is completely different than the name that was actually on the prescription that you dropped off in the first place? How many people have that happen to? I am sure many. If you bother to look at the prescription, a lot of times the doctor will write for the brand name medication. And as we all know, we live in a world of generics now. And generic just means that a different manufacturer is able to make that medication than the manufacturer that actually created the medication. And this is the cost savings to us. Of course, there's some medications that, have something called a lower therapeutic number. So they have a lower therapeutic range, and a lot of different generics you can't take, you can't switch. That's a good example is Synthroid, which is a thyroid medication. And I'm going to be talking about that throughout the different weeks. And if you guys have a question, or if you want to know more about a certain topic, make sure you email me, support@funonthefarm.com. Go to my website. All the information's on there. So you can have your topic for Fun Farm Fridays. So you get a prescription from your doctor's office. You bring it into the pharmacy and the name is completely different. Completely different. Let's say a new medication, actually a new generic that just came out, Viagra. You bring your Viagra in and you come back out with sildenafil. And you go home and everybody, well, not everybody, many men and many women, the blue diamond tablet. It's not blue anymore. It might be white, it might be purple, because now it's generic, which means it's cheaper. And the effect should still be the same. And so then you get so upset because you didn't look at the prescription when you picked it up. And that's another thing. If you got eyes, God gave us eyes, you got to use them. Look at the prescription when you're giving it to it from your doctor. Look at the label, the medication, when you pick it up. And that's part of becoming an empowered patient. So, by law, we have to fill generics unless you or your doctor specifies. If you want brand name medication, and let's say you have insurance, your insurance covers it, and a generic is available, you're going to be paying a higher copay. I can't tell you how many times someone comes into the pharmacy, oh, no, I gotta get my Viagra, I can't have that sildenafil, I can't have that generic. And they were used to paying, let's say, $60 for 6 tablets, for an example. Viagra is very expensive. And now they get the sildenafil, and because it's out and generic available, let's say they got 6 tablets for $30. And they're like, oh yeah, it's cheaper. But then they before they leave the pharmacy, like, oh no, I want my Viagra. Now that sildenafil, the generic of Viagra, is available, when I change it back to your Viagra, it's not going to be $60 anymore. It's probably going to be like $150. That's the example I have today. And when I worked earlier today, that same example happened. And because now that the generic is available, now that the generic drug is available, the drug company or your insurance wants you to get the generic because it's cheaper. So it's not going to be the $60. Now that the generic is available, it's going to be cheaper, and that's a good thing. The generics ends up saving us money. If you can't take generics, so a lot of people say they're allergic to generics, like that's a class. No, that's not a class. That's just the generics just means another manufacturer is making the drug. But let's say you try the sildenafil and it didn't have the same effect for you as the Viagra did. For the next month, get your Viagra, but you're going to have to pay that premium price. And I don't dictate that price. Don't yell at me, your superhero pharmacist. Talk to the drug companies. I don't dictate prices. That's my superhero image. And by the way, I am the patient empowerer. Doom, doom, doom. So, if you ever have questions about your medication regimen, feel free to schedule a consultation with me. But anyway, you can go on my website to talk about that. So, I don't dictate those prices. Don't yell at your pharmacist. You can talk to the drug company, because once a drug is off patent, that means other manufacturers can make that same exact drug with the same exact effect as the brand name, and it's cheaper for everybody else. Okay? So that's just another takeaway. Okay, you got your prescription. You come into the pharmacy. If you have your prescription in hand, the first place you should go to is drop off. Drop off is like a station or like a house inside the pharmacy if you have your actual prescription in hand. And if you're confused on whether the doctor called in your prescription or not, or sent it electronically to us, drop off is another place that you can go to as well for that. But if you know that your prescriptions are already ready, let's say that the doctor sent it electronically, go to pickup. If it's ready, go pick it up from pickup. Okay? So we're going to talk about that a little. And this is the step process. MD office, get your prescription. Drop off, that station. Production is another station. Quality assurance or verification is another station. Pick up and taking medication. So this is the whole prescription process in a nutshell, my friends on the farm. So let me make sure I don't have any questions, because I'm here for you. And if anybody knows how to get the display off of my camera, let me know. I would love, I'm checking to see if anybody has any questions, because I'm here for you. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, so you're at drop off. At drop off, this is the place that we make sense of the prescription. So pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, my pharmacy team, and shout out to all you beautiful technicians. You guys make our job so much easier. When you go into the pharmacy, you guys, just say hello to your pharmacy team, because you don't understand the onslaught of prescriptions in this day and age and in this country that we get. Your pharmacists are the most educated as far as medications, health practitioners, health providers that there are. And our job is to make sure that your prescriptions are safe, effective, and accurate. So it's very, very busy in the pharmacy. So if you're coming back there with your chips or your cards or your chocolates, it throws us off of our game on what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be filling your prescriptions, making sure that they're safe and accurate. So if you see me back there by myself in the pharmacy, you're bothering me by bringing your chips back there, your drinks, your chocolates. I mean, of course, come say, hey, Uchenna, what's up? Nice to see you. Love you. Peace. Keep it going. But then we were talking about, oh, can I check out back here and you got a bag of chips? No, check out up front. And I'm talking about retail pharmacy, of course, because I work in retail. I started my own company, Fun on the Farm, but I still work in retail. And I do that for money, of course, and also so I can stay attuned, keep my ear to the streets on what's going on, the newest drugs, newest knowledge, and find out what my patients really, really need. I've built a lot of friendships and cultivated a lot of friendships with a lot of people and my seniors that I love. So I haven't been able to take both feet out of retail pharmacy just yet. Even though I got one foot out, one foot in, I still love my retail job. And thank you for everyone who comes to see me and tell me how awesome I am. I love it. Thank you. And my job is to serve you. So I appreciate you. So, drop off. At drop off, we want to make sure that the prescription is correct. We have to type it up and kind of like transcribe the hieroglyphics to English or Spanish or Mandarin or whatever language that you speak. And there's tools for that. So if your English is not your first language, just ask if, can you put this into Spanish? Can you make the directions on your Spanish? Because I want to make sure that you understand the prescriptions that you're getting. If English is not your first language and Spanish is, I could just type it up and make sure and put some codes in, and it'll translate everything into Spanish for you. Okay? So that's another takeaway. That'll make everything easier. I want to decrease the amount of medication errors that exist in our society today. There are too many unnecessary errors. There's too many prescriptions being filled for no reason. There's too many prescriptions that are not being filled. Doses are too high, doses are too low. People are not taking their medications according to prescribed, and our healthcare system has trillions of dollars worth of debt. And my job as a pharmacist is to demystify this process. So, in addition, at drop-off, we need to bill your insurance. If you know that you have new insurance, tell us. Don't wait till you come back and pick up your prescriptions like, hey, I gotta do insurance. No, drop off is the time that you bring your insurance card with you. Okay? So be ready, be an empowered patient, because that'll make the whole process more smooth. And you want to hurry. I'm in a hurry to get you out of the pharmacy. There's no reason why I want to keep you in. There's no reason why I want to keep your medications. I want you to get better. I want you to be better, to live better, to be healthier. So if filling your prescription is going to help you do that, I'm going to fill it for you, get you on your way, okay? So help me fill your prescriptions. Help me through this process. Have your name. If you're dropping off for someone, have their date of birth, okay? Have their name, their date of birth. Have their insurance card information, because that'll make the whole process smoother. Oh, I hope someone's listening. Please listen. Listen. This will help the whole process go by smoother. Okay? All right. Okay. So that's the drop-off process. If your prescription is not covered, and it could be covered for many, many reasons. It might be covered because your insurance just doesn't cover the medication, okay? Insurances don't cover every single medications that your doctor may write, and your doctor doesn't know what your insurance covers. They can look it up, but let's say, you might want a specific medication, and medications are approved from the FDA, Food Drug Association, every single day. So the doctor's office doesn't know if something was covered last week and is not covered this week. So you need to either check your insurance or just hang out at the pharmacy or give us a call to make sure if something has been called in for you and is not covered. And there's some medications that's not covered. There might be a medication that needs a prior authorization. So a medication that needs a prior authorization, that means the insurance company doesn't want to pay for it. And they don't want to pay for it because it might be super expensive. They don't want to pay for it because there's other medications that they feel the doctor should try for you first. And all those fall under the category of prior authorizations. And so if you need a prior authorization, that just means the insurance has not gone through. Okay? So it could take up to 3 days for that to go through. If you call your doctor and tell them that it needs a prior authorization, and the doctor usually has to call the insurance company, that'll expedite the whole process. We call the insurance or we call the doctor or fax the doctor about the medication and not being covered. But it also helps for you to do it as well. Of course I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my job. But if you need it today, you're going to have to help me. Okay? So that's the prior authorization process. So let's say you're smooth sailing. The prescription, you drop it off at drop off. And we check your date of birth, we check your allergies, and make sure you have your allergies. The last thing we want is for you to have an allergic reaction. You gotta know what your allergies are. You gotta make sure your phone number is updated in our system. You gotta make sure your allergies are updated in our system, because I want your prescription process to go smoothly. And that's my job. That's what I'm here for, and I'm really good at my job. But you gotta help me out. Have your name. Have your date of birth, have your phone number, have your insurance card, have your allergies. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. Have those, and that'll help the whole prescription process go more smooth for the both of us. Okay? So let's say everything goes smoothly. You're not allergic to the medication that the doctor prescribed, and your insurance covers your medication. The next step in the prescription fill process is drop-off. Is production. So at drop-off, that's when we transcribe the prescription. So I put this up earlier, 1T, BID, HS. So if you get that, this means one tablet twice a day and at bedtime. So that's what the label, the actual prescription label, is going to say when you pick it up, okay? So production is where we choose the proper drug. It's the proper drug selection. We actually count or measure out the medications that you're going to be taking and making sure that everything is labeled appropriately with pharmaceutical elegance. And that happens at the production step. The production step is a quick, fast process. You got to be swift. Like I said, shout out to all the pharmacy technicians. Man, I love you guys. You guys make my job just so much, like so much more easier. And I love the women that and the gentlemen that I work with today. So thank you guys all in Ferndale. Appreciate you guys. Mwah! So the production process is when we do the counting, the product selection, and making sure that everything is pharmaceutically elegant. So after the production, it goes to quality assurance or verification. And only a pharmacist, by law, is allowed to verify the prescriptions. And so I'm making sure, me, your community pharmacist, I'm making sure that your prescriptions are correct. On my computer screen, I'm matching up the actual prescription that was given to you or called in or electronically sent to me at the pharmacy. I'm making sure those prescriptions are matches up to what was typed in the bottle, making sure the drugs from production, the counting process, making sure it's correct. You know, so when you drop off your prescription, don't stand in front of the pharmacy like eyeballing me, rushing me throughout this whole process, because who wants that? Like at their job, like yesterday, I worked in a pharmacy yesterday, and literally the guy dropped his prescription off and I took it, and I walked to the left, he walked to the left. I walked to the right, and he walked to the right. And I turned around, and he was like watching me, and I'm just like, why don't you do some shopping? He was like, no, I'm good. See, don't do that. That is like my pet peeve, and I'm sure it's a lot of pharmacists' pet peeve, because you think that if you're watching me and you're like tracking my steps, that's going to make this whole process faster. It's not. It's a process, regardless if you decide to stalk me through it or not. Okay? So it's best for you to do your shopping or go sit down, pick up a book, use your eyes, do some reading so I can fill your prescription and get it out to you. Because honestly, if you do that to me, I mean, like, I might use that opportunity to go to the bathroom. Or I might use that opportunity to have a snack, because I don't like that. I think that that's disrespectful to me and my craft, that you are stalking me, trying to hurry me up through this process. And you know, as pharmacists and pharmacies, a lot of my pharmacy technicians, we don't take breaks. Can you believe it? Working, standing up for 10 hours, running around, trying to get these prescriptions filled. And we got to run to the bathroom, run to go eat, run to go have a glass of water every now and then. It's like, I've already been holding myself probably for like 30 minutes. If you're standing right there, guess what? I'll be like, I'll be right back. And that's the time I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Okay? That's the time I'm gonna take my time coming back to fill your prescription. Because you just, I mean, don't do that. That's disrespectful. I got a doctor in pharmacy. You don't need to stand there watching me. Okay? Don't do that. All right. So Once a prescription leaves production, it comes to verification, the pharmacist station, the other house in the whole prescription process, the verification. And this is the station that I have to make sure that everything that the doctor has written for you matches up with what I'm going to give you. Okay, so that's what happens at this step. I might, let's say you're waiting. If you decide to wait in the store, I might page you back to the pharmacy. I might want to get some more information from you. This is a station that I'm going to make sure that the caps, let's say you're, it's hard to get sometimes those safety caps off. They're good, to prevent, children from getting into the medications. But this is a station I want to make sure that you got your safety or non-safety caps on. And if you have a problem opening your prescription pills, ask your pharmacist, hey, let me get those easy open pills, because the last thing I want to do is prevent you from taking your medication. That's my job, is to make sure that your medications are safe, effective, and accurate. So we want to get rid of any barriers that prevent that from happening. Okay, so if you have a question or if you need the easy open caps, just request them. That's fine. We have those at the pharmacy. Okay, all right. So after verification, once I know your prescription has been verified by me and it's accurate, I bag it up with the label, and I might page your name or I put it in my waiting bin. So the waiting bin is the area that your prescriptions are waiting for you to pick up. And if you drop a prescription off, you need to come pick it up. This is not like storage. I don't get paid, or you don't pay me to keep these prescriptions stored. They're for you to come pick up. So a lot of times you'd be like, oh, I don't really want that right now, or they stop taking it. Give me the courtesy and call me and tell me to delete the prescription. Or if you're gonna pick it up, just come pick it up. And I understand a lot of prescriptions may be too expensive for you to pick up. Just call me and tell me, oh, Uchenna, I'm not gonna pick that up, so I can delete it. Because we're gonna delete it anyway after 14 days. Oh my gosh, and that's my pet peeve. I delete so many prescriptions on day 14. And day 15, people call or people come in like, oh, my bad. And you've been getting those phone calls. We've been calling you, telling you to pick up your prescriptions. Why would you wait till day 15 to tell me to refill your prescription after it's been here for 14 days? That's disrespectful. So, when you come to pick up your prescription, make sure you have your name, or the patient's name if you're picking up for somebody, their date of birth, and make sure you look at the prescription. Make sure it's the prescription. If you dropped off your prescription, make sure the paper is the same, the name on the paper is the same thing as the name as when you pick it up. And if you don't know, or if you're confused, ask me. I'm here to serve you. And that's why, in Michigan, we have a law. We have to offer to counsel. So that's on my goal. Do you have any questions? That is the opportunity for you to look at your label and make sure you don't have any questions. Because once you leave out the pharmacy, let's say it's the wrong medication, I can't take that back. I don't know what you did to it. So once you leave out the pharmacy, it's yours. And a lot of people is like, oh, no, I left out, but you know what? I don't want this. I'm just like, well, you left out. It's like you can't return your prescription once you left out the pharmacy. At the counter, that's when you take care of all those cares, all those concerns, all those issues, okay? You need to take care of that at the pharmacy. If you got eyes, you need to look, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you this, because I want you to be a more empowered patient. And it's like, we live in a day and age where a lot of the responsibility falls on us to make sure we get it right. And honestly, it's always fallen on us. But the medication errors have gotten to a point where, in my opinion, it's just untenable. And it's not fair for your 80-year-old mother to suffer because you didn't look at the medication before you left the pharmacy. And that responsibility falls on more people than you, but your loved one needs you. Your loved one needs you to, when you pick up that prescription, just take a look at it. Just look to make sure it was filled correctly. And you knew that because you dropped it off and you took a picture with your camera of the prescription that you got from your doctor's office, and you asked your questions, you did your due diligence. And so when your mom gets that prescription, it's going to be correct for her because you know that you've done your due diligence. You know that you've done what you're supposed to do as her caretaker, as her child, as her loved one. So just help. Let's all help each other out with this whole prescription filling process, because I want to decrease the medication errors, and you as a patient don't want to experience any medication errors. So that's the reason that we are in this together. Okay, so a couple takeaways. If your prescription's on hold, and what does an on-hold prescription mean? An on-hold prescription means that usually three things. If you go to pick up your prescription, and then whoever's at pickup is like, oh, your prescription's on hold. You're like, on hold? What does that mean? So it can mean usually three things. Your prescription wasn't covered under your insurance, so it's on hold. Your prescription's too soon under your insurance, or let's see, it was never picked up. Okay, so only new prescriptions can be on hold. If it's a refill, then if you don't pick it up, then we just delete it and it goes back onto your refills. New prescriptions can be put on hold. Let's say a prescription was $600. Somebody's like, oh no, I don't want that. I'm not gonna pay $600 for that. So we just delete it, but we don't really delete the prescription, like throw it away. We keep it on your profile and put it on hold. That's way number one. Number two, let's say we filled the prescription and you didn't call us or you didn't know that your doctor called it in for you, and it was over in our waiting bin, the area that we store the prescriptions, for over 14 days. So in that case, we delete it and put it on hold. If you didn't, let's see, if it was too soon, let's say your doctor, you already had lisinopril, and your doctor called in a new prescription for you, and you're not ready. You're like, I got like 20 more tablets. I don't need that. So in that case, we put it on hold because it's too soon to go through your insurance. So whenever you have a prescription on hold, that's usually the reason we delete it and put it on your profile. And every single year, especially around tax time, everyone should get a printout of what medications they're taking. And that is your health record. You can come in at any time with your ID or have a representative come in with your ID and request your prescription record. It is our job to give that to you for free. So you just bring your name, your date of birth, ID, and we'll give you a prescription record. And a lot of times, you can use that for tax purposes or reimbursement through your HSA or FSA, and we're going to have a session on that later on, so stay tuned for that. Fun Farm Fridays. And make sure, if you have any questions, go on to my website, www.funonthefarm.com, and leave your questions. We're going to be here every Friday with you. Either we're going to upload a video that we feel are helpful, that'll help you through your week, or we'll have live sessions like these where we can interact with each other and take your questions. So let me see. I'm going to take some questions. Okay. Hey, Chu. Hey, Veronica. Hey, you guys. Thanks for joining. One of the questions, what is a prior authorization? And I kind of talked about that a little bit already. So prior authorization is basically when your insurance company doesn't cover the medication. The insurance company doesn't want to pay for the medication because it might be too expensive. They want to make sure that your doctor has tried maybe a different medication that's cheaper before they try this medication. So that's what a prior authorization is. It just means that the insurance company wants a little bit more information before they pay for this medication. So we talk about, you get the prescription from your MD office, you go to drop off, production, quality assurance or verification, then we have pickup, and then you take the medication. So you need to make sure what you're putting in your body is what you're supposed to be taking. You don't know how many times I ask people, like, so what are you taking? They're like, I don't know, whatever my doctor prescribed. But it's important for you to understand what you're taking, because sometimes you're taking it 1, 2, 3 times a day. So ask the proper questions, be an empowered patient so you can understand this whole prescription fill process. And I know we got drive through. I know we're like McDonald's or whatever you want to call it. And I'm guilty. I am so guilty. I'm embarrassed to even say it as a pharmacist, but sometimes, especially, I mean, it's like 12 degrees in Michigan. I will go through the drive-through, and I'm embarrassed every time. But I come prepared. I have my name, my date of birth, my ID, my insurance card, whatever I need. So make sure you have your stuff. But you got to drive through. You don't have to get out your car anymore. Make sure you have the resources, to make sure you have the tools that you need to make you a more empowered patient, to make the whole prescription fill process easier. And that's the reason why I had the handout on the bottom, something like this. Do you know what this means? 1T BID NHS. That means 1 tablet twice a day and at bedtime. So if you look on the link below this video, you can click on it, put your name and email, and I have a download sheet of all the abbreviations and conversions. I just kind of compile that into one handy dandy sheet. For an example, a lot of times the doctor might say take 5 mLs BID. 5 mLs is the same thing as 1 teaspoon, right? So not the 1 teaspoon like we're like using to stir our coffee. It's 5 mLs. So you use a calibrated syringe to pull up the medication and make sure you're dosing appropriately, especially if it's your kid. You want to make sure that's correct, right? So all this information is on the sheet, on the link below this video. And I'll make sure I keep that up there because it's so helpful to have a sheet that allows you to decipher the hieroglyphic prescriptions, right? And so that's what this download is for you, okay? So, let me make sure I touched on all my points for Fun Farm Fridays today for our medication abbreviation and conversion sheet, okay? And leave a comment below if there's anything that you want me to talk about or anything that you might have a question about. Post on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. And so I can spend more time creating content to help you through this process, okay? So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like my Facebook page, follow me on social media, Dr. Uchenna Kole-James or Fun on the Farm, depending on what social media handle you're following, and email me on any topics that you want to know more about. Okay, it's Friday. I'm off to Cola's. I'm gonna have a good time with my girlfriends. So, you guys, you're my friends on the farm. I'm your community pharmacist. Let's start like a movement, you know what I mean? To empowering ourselves and being more informed and educated so we can make it through, decrease these medication errors, help our loved ones, help these baby boomers who are just like getting older and older, who I love. I love my seniors. Our job, my job, is to empower you to improve your health through lifestyle changes and medication management. And if you're interested in a 10-minute, 15-minute consultation, go ahead and go on my website, click on the link, schedule an RX Power Hour. That's an hour, but you can schedule a consultation to see if your insurance covers the service or see if there's something that you're interested in with me. So that link is all on my website, www.funonthefarm.com. Okay? Schedule your free 15-minute consult and we can go from there. Okay? So, some takeaways. All right, my friends on the farm. It's been awesome. Thank you for joining me on Fun Farm Fridays. See you next week.